Good afternoon, everybody. This is Fago Franklin III with New Stitch Media. Today, I am joined by former Buffalo Bills offensive tackle Terrance Pennington. First and foremost, how you doing today, buddy?
Man, doing great, man. Doing fantastic. Blessed. I'm glad to be here. You know, all the stuff going on with COVID. So, man, if I could wake up, man, I'm blessed. I'm definitely feeling good and grateful.
Amen.
How about you?
I'm hanging in there. Can't complain. You know, just grateful as well. You know, just living in a great, positive environment. So, yeah. So, but before we get into your journey, could you give some words of encouragement for my viewers?
No, absolutely. Well, I do want to encourage because a lot of, uncertainty is going on, with jobs, career, family, of kids, school, or maybe scared of when it'll be, when will it end? Can I go out? There's a lot of people, like me, I'm an extrovert, so not be able to go out, do things we enjoy. So I just want to encourage people to hold on. I want to encourage people to use this time, wherever they can to do things that maybe they don't usually do. If it's hanging out with family, hanging out with kids, doing self-work on yourself, or maybe picking up another hobby or maybe another skill or craft. So I just want to encourage people to see the blessings in this lesson, this opportunity, so you can have a more positive mindset. So I just want to encourage somebody just to see how can I make this better for me for when I get out this whole COVID situation.
Amen. Thank you for those words of encouragement. So how have you adapted and adjusted since we've been in this pandemic?
Well, it was tough. Just like anything grieving, it was a shock at first. I came home and my wife just had all kind of stuff, food and this. I'm like, babe, what's going on? I don't get what right? So she was taking it more serious than I was, and then it was a shock when I seen the whole pandemic. So I would say in the beginning it was tough, or what I do my business, help people with their health, mental and physical. So a lot of people I work with was, going through tough time, depression, scare, anxiety, having to shift a lot of my business structure that I have built because I'm adapting. Then also myself, I'm a big extrovert. I love hanging around people. I love being around people. I get a high off just conversations and laughing with family and friends. So now I'll be able to travel, not have vacations. Of course, summertime, a lot of plans that maybe we had with the wife. But however, I learned a lot about myself during this time, about triggers and different behaviors and things that maybe a lot of people start to eat more or drink more or going through different struggles. So it was a good also for me to learn new hobbies, man. Got me a basketball court, so I'm trying to shoot more. I got so many games, Monopoly, Taboo, Trouble. I mean, we got so many games, so definitely spend a lot more time, I'll say, my wife. Since we can go out. So it's been okay adapting. I'm ready to not get back to normal, but be able to be around people, man. Like I said, I love people. Amen. How about you?
Oh, man, I've just been adapting, doing a lot of Zoom calls. Sports media has been a little bit weird because we're not allowed to go to like press boxes and different things like that. So I have adjusted a lot, to be honest. I started my own publication. Just getting more people on my podcast and doing different things of that nature. So, just love to experience and have like a positive measure to kind of encourage everybody through this rough time right now.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I could definitely imagine. I'm glad we got sports back, because when sports come here, ooh, Jesus, I'm like, please have something. I never watched pogo and I never seen so much what is that, bowling, or just little small sports where I was just like, oh my God, this is so awesome, so any sport, it was definitely good. So it's definitely good to at least have sports now in football. So I just cross my fingers, hope it is keep going, with the college also.
Mm-hmm. And since we start talking about sports a little bit, so tell me a little bit about your NFL journey. What kind of actually got you intrigued about playing football at a very young age?
Yeah, well, my father, was big with football. My family's a big football team. My father's a Cowboys fan, bless his heart.
Lord.
I know I'm saying, that's why I said bless his heart, not me. I'm a fan myself. So I come from that family of sports, basketball, football. It was a way. I'm from Compton, California. So my parents used activity as a way to get me away from, bad influences, gangs, violence, things like that, which was very helpful because idle time can get you into, idle troubles. Mm-hmm. So playing the sports, but again, having a team atmosphere, love being around people, love, fighting, with the brothers. So I really grew for that. So growing with high school, went to college, University of New Mexico down there in Albuquerque, Go Lobos. So that's where I was able to grow into a man, learn the position of offensive line and tackle. That I play. I was 100 pounds heavier than I am now, so a lot bigger. Then I got drafted to the NFL. My road to NFL wasn't as simple and easy as other people. I had to go through many all-star games and then snuck in to be able to get to the combine, and then snuck in, got drafted, was able to, start 9 games my rookie year, for somebody that never would have expected me being a NFL because I was very raw as I was young, and I didn't actually start playing football. I actually start on the field not to my senior year of my football. So I was more of a basketball guy. Honestly, I love sports, but then I didn't get the hype, man, that I wanted. So I could be the shortest one on the court, right, or one of the tallest one in football. So I made a decision what would get me into college, and it worked out well.
And in 2006, you was drafted by Buffalo. Tell me a little bit about that experience. Were you nervous? Was your hand shaking?
It was. Honestly, I didn't expect to get drafted. For me, I just wanted an opportunity, a chance. That's what my whole thing was. I was a lot of the underdog, a lot growing up. Because of my skill set that I didn't have the proper training growing up. And that's the thing about big guys or athletes are big like me, where they will have expectation this guy's going to be good, right? But if you don't have nobody properly teach you and train, developing you, then you're just like having a nice car but not knowing how to use it, right? So draft day, I was really just watching it and just thinking, hey, I get free agent. But when I got that call, and I thought it was maybe one of my friends, like, hey, who's this number? And, I got the call with Dick Geron, who was the head coach then. And then, saying, hey, we're going to draft you. So it was exciting hearing my mom in the other room, yelling, screaming. So it was like, yes, I'm from California, remember. And then it was like, Buffalo, it's cold. So it was that shock, too, of I'm not used to that cold. And at least in Albuquerque, you get a little snow here and there, but it's not Buffalo. So going down there, the beginning of May, the end of April, and still seeing snow on the ground, I knew I had to get my mind right, for this. But the experience, was definitely, I loved it. And any football player, hopefully with most of them, NFL will say that first team when you get drafted, because it shows like, hey, I wanted you, So I definitely have a special place with Buffalo for them taking a chance, seeing a value in me, to be able to help their team. And it was an awesome run.
What was your favorite memory with being in the NFL?
I would say my first start. My first start was against Brett Favre, the Green Bay when he was playing then, right? So being a little kid, playing Madden, Christmas, get a little new Madden, being your draw, eating cereal, playing with with those guys, and seeing them. So just being like starstruck, seeing a lot of guys that I looked up to growing up, So I would say like my first start, right? Getting that call, say I'm going to start, I'll never forget that. And then being able to be on the field, have my parents there to watch it. So I would just say just that surreal moment, like, hey, like I made it, like I'm on this field of what I watch on Sundays with my family, So I would say that moment, and then be able to take care of my family, do things, of course, as a person like me, I'm a good heart, love people. So be able to, do things for my mom and dad that maybe they always wanted to do, just couldn't do it financially, because of financial reasons. So being able to kind of help out bucket lists, I would say was an awesome experience also with that money that we get from playing the field.
What advice could you give some of these younger guys about staying true to their identities and not falling into the traps of their perception of social media as well as the fame and fortune?
I love it, man. I mean, for what I know now, right? Because again, during my time, we didn't have internet. And, where we can look at other players. So I would say doing research. I do mentor a couple, athletes, and, they look at NFL guys and they compare their size to where they at, and when they look at maybe top 100, D linemen or wide receivers, and they really see the truth of like, hey, this guy's not that much bigger than me. This guy's not that much faster than me. And so I would say is, do your research to learn the truth of things and not let your negative thinking or opinions or what maybe, the world says. I'll say that's the first thing. So, and the second thing is, In the day, everybody has different history. So comparing yourself to others, might not be helpful because you don't know how much time that person probably had. You don't know that athlete, maybe dad played ball or uncles, or you never know, maybe they had a bigger brother that helped them. So I would say just work on your craft, just focus on what you need to do, right? And then and just kind of have that positive attitude that it's possible. And you got to have that it's possible attitude. And that's what's going to keep you going and not get into that depressed type mindset where now you're not, excited or have that enthusiasm because of fear or doubt.
And I know you had touched on it a little bit earlier about people who were depressed during the holidays, as well as, trying to adapt to the pandemic. What advice can you give somebody that is actually going through mental illness or depression right now?
Love it. For what I do, and for my career now is helping people with behaviors. A lot of people don't know, we have struggles with dealing with stress, distress or dealing with negative thinking. And even for myself, when I was done playing ball in the field, it's kind of like that COVID, I guess, because I wasn't playing, I wasn't doing things that used to give me a high, right? So maybe people are not be able to get those endorphins released of things they enjoy, if it's party, if it's hanging out, if it's traveling, whatever it is that we use to escape the hustle or whatever it is for work, job, family. So what I would say is you have to now learn alternatives, healthier ways of how to find joy, find peace. And I also want to encourage people to allow this time for you to work on you. So I have, for me, you see me now, but I had to find books on anxiety, on rejection, on shame, on depression. And I started to do the work of learning, okay, why do I think the way I think? Why am I being negative? I know I can do great things, but why do I have this? And me learning more about myself and doing the self-work of learning why I think the way I think, and it really helped me. So I want to encourage people to find healthy alternatives, right? But you got to explore, go on Google, right? Fun things to do during COVID or wherever, do the work. And also, look at yourself inside and say, why do I want to eat, right? Am I hungry? Am I bored? Is this fear? Is this anxiety? Is it stress? Like, what is it? And once you can really pinpoint what those things is, so now you can actually start to do the work on those areas. And that's what I would recommend, because I had to do that myself.
So when you were losing weight, was it a little bit, were you a little bit impatient? Did you have like a positive support system, like your wife pushed you? Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Yeah. Well, it was terrible. All right. Right. Well, I grew up big family, and food is what we do. Food, partying, hanging out. That was the culture of my family. My mom's from New Orleans, so you understand that culture is food and partying, right? Mm-hmm. So I had a relationship with food. Food makes me feel good. Food never tell me no. Food's always open. So food was my thing I've been through. I was offensive lineman, so they pay me to be a big guy, so it was okay to eat and be that way. So, but now it's shifting that mentality now of changing my relationship. So I didn't know how to eat, man. I didn't, as athletes, we work out 5-6 days a week, so we can eat food and burn it off, So now that I'm trying to lose weight, man, I didn't know about calories and protein and macros. And be honest with you, I was going through my depression time because I was dumped in the field, retired through my injury. So it was tough because I'll look at football and that would depress me. That would kind of bring shame, guilt, looking at what things I could have did more, could have did different. So for me, right, I submitted of saying, T, you don't know the hell you're doing. Okay. Because I was starving myself, ate salads, doing tuna, doing all kinds of things that people might do. That's why I love what I do now, to help people just like me. And then I say, you know what, T, you knew football at the back of your hand because you studied it, you practiced it, right? So I just went back into my football mindset. So that's why I went and got certified. Like, let me learn the body. Let me learn of what to do. And once I learned it, it was like a breakthrough of, that's why eating all that ranch on Saturday work. That's why eating one time is going to start. And then that's when I started to learn, just like football, right? Okay, that's why the Baltimore defense works good, because they're back, right? Same mindset where I was like, now I know how to beat it. And once I knew how to beat it, I just used my same principles football. And I just use my 4 steps that I teach from my book. I wrote plan. I commit to the plan. I win a tough decision, temptation, feeling of laziness, don't want to do it, right? And then repeat, mean do it again, right? So I just really focus, on a strategy. And I just really worked my sports mentality. And that's how I lost 100 pounds. Now, it was up and down because rejection is one of the things I do struggle with. So get on a scale, not seeing number I want to see, that could trigger frustration. It was so many times where I want to say, when forget this diet, it was times I want to throw my damn scale across the room. Right? Because again, it's still a battle inside that we have. And that's what I love about weight loss, because it really forces you, if you really want to finish a project, to work on those struggles, those internal struggles, that reason why we do overeat or, we gain weight. So, yeah, so it was a blessing for me, man, to work on patience, because that's one of my struggles I always have, is be patient, and it helped me for what I do now, is be patient, with people.
So what is going on with Tampa Bay right now? Do you think it's the coaching, or either do you think it's Tom Brady? Like, what's going on out there?
Man, being in the league, it's a lot. See, people don't know, just to give an example with Michael Vick, people don't know that Michael Vick had a different offensive coordinator almost every year. So when you got to learn and master and trying to get other guys on the same page, is difficult. So being down there and the Patriots, when you got Wes Welker, them guys, they know the routes, they know where he wanted. I want 5 and in, so them guys may be doing 6 or 6.5. Or maybe, you got Byron Leftwich and he's awesome, but that connection of, okay, I know what Tom want to run, like to run. So it's mastering, it's like weight loss is mastering a system and knowing, and now a new system. So it's not that Tom Brady's not good. It's that he has to have other people. He has to be on the same page. And you're right, not having OTAs, not having camp, like those things matter, right? And having, different guys getting hurt because of COVID. So it's a lot of interchangeable things. So hopefully during December, he got more time to work it. That's when NFL, you want to make sure you get good is in December, so that can roll into the championship. Ask the Giants. That's how they won their 2 championships. They got rolling in December, and they just able to roll in and got those 2 championships during the time with Eli Manning. So, man, Tom Brady, man, he's a warrior. He's going to get it worked out, get it fixed. If it's not this year, best believe, like, he got a 2-year contract. He's going to figure it out of how to get everybody on the same page, because he just demand excellence. Let me say that.
So what teams are you intrigued by, like, right now, that could actually go far in postseason play?
Postseason play. All right, man. I wish I could say the Eagles. All right.
Me too.
Of course. But a team that I'm looking at, of course, Tom Brady now. I'm seeing Green Bay with a new coach, definitely good, because again, with Tom Brady having a new coach, but seeing Green Bay, right, of having that mix of so fast, the floor, I believe is coach name. I'm seeing, I don't know what Cleveland going to do, but surprised how Cleveland doing. I don't know if they're going to sneak in. I love seeing Tennessee. I know Tennessee's starting to do good. I'm here in Nashville. So seeing them get even their top offensive line Pro Bowl, the one got hurt, several weeks ago, and still seeing them, adapt is impressive with Henry. Ravens, I don't know what's going on with them. We'll see. Oh, Steelers, right? From last year, not having Big Ben and having that big turnaround like that, like, wow. So to me, the Steelers is so impressive. And they had a lot of, things they had going on, had a bye week taken away from them, now this, and still overcoming adversity. So I would say the Steelers, I'm very, very impressed with Big Ben, how he bounced back from that injury and things like that. How about you? Any teams that you're surprised or got your attention?
I'm a diehard Eagles fan, as you just stated.
Yeah. We just got that much cooler.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on with Wentz. I want them to kind of start Jalen Hurts now. Because I think our season is almost over, and I'm just like, I'm not even gonna lie. I just wish, maybe I don't want the Giants, I don't want Dallas, I don't want the football team. Just somebody else. Don't give me hope, because it's like we're gonna walk right back into the playoffs and get embarrassed once again.
Yeah, I was listening to something, and we gotta look at the offensive line, right? He got the most sacks, so right, and the most interceptions. So to put Jalen Hurts in there is cool, but it's still gonna be the same players, same offensive line. So putting that guy in there and mess up his confidence, or another way for them to say he's whack. So if you're talking about for longevity, if the season already kind of trash, offensive lineman, I would say keep Wentz in there to see how he fight, to see is he going to change around, see his leadership since he's paying all that money. So I would hate for them paying what $30-something million, and we're going, oh nah, Pivot, you're gonna stay, you're gonna fix this, you're gonna show your leadership, or so. But that's what it takes is you got to gut those things out, and those things are going to show your leadership. It's going to show. Okay, let's see your mindset of can you get better, or are you gonna come back next year with a different mindset? So I'm big on if you start it, finish it. Instead of putting Jalen in there and set him up for failure. And now, I don't know about that. I rather keep Jalen there and learn from wins going through tough times than throwing him in there. Now they saying Jalen's whack. He's like, man, why you put me in this? All right. So I feel you're saying get some energy, run around, but man, I don't know.
And then you also got to look at the Chiefs as well too. Like I like their offense. Like they remind me of so much of the greatest show on turf. It's so hard to kind of beat them on the offensive end. However, on the secondary, their secondary is very suspect. I mean, they average, opponents averaging over 20 a game just on that defense. So my whole thing is you just got to outscore them. They kind of remind me of the Super Bowl Saints, where you just had to outscore the Saints because they didn't really have no defense back in the day.
No, you're right, and you know what? Because their front four is not bad. John Clark, they're not bad. So you have to pass it. If you run it, that could change your whole scheme when they put them points up. So when they passing it, of course, that will expose them. But like you said, man, when you have Mahomes and now you got to throw it and you got to keep them points up there and pressure comes in and got so much time. So what they're doing is working. And, man, Andy Reid from being down there in Philly. So man, he's definitely like Bill Belichick, man, when it comes to mastermind. So, man, I'm glad that they have that struggle because if they had a defense and an offense, I mean, it won't be fair. And we still haven't had Le'Veon Bell to really act up and do nothing. So it's going to be scary if he gets, going the way that we know how he can be. So, man, it could be scary. So we haven't seen him really shine yet.
Exactly. And I'm waiting for him to get some shine, but it's kind of deep. Their offensive scheme is kind of deep. And I just don't what's that dude name? Hilaire? Hilaire is a monster.
Yeah, man, it's too many. Kelsey, I mean Kelsey was before what's the guy who had 200 yards in the first quarter? I can't think his name. Short, number 10. What's his name? I can't think his name. For Kansas City Chiefs.
He starts this year?
Yeah. The one he did a backflip. I'm just being brain dead right now.
Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill, right? When you have a Tyreek Hill, when you got Kelsey, it was a number most receiving as a tight end. I mean, it's crazy. So just having those two guys, you got to double somebody. Somebody gonna be open. So man, it's tough. And Mahomes, man, he talking about that connection with them. That's how Tom Brady, wants to be, I'm sure, to where how I'm thinking, if I run this way, they have that, that connection. So I'm sure it's gonna take time with Brady. He'll definitely get that with those guys because they got some offensive firepower too, and that's why I'm confused of how they're not able to really shine. Because man, they got some athletes too.
Exactly. And my last question for you, because I know, I know we were just running our mouths.
I know. I love it. I can talk this all day.
Same here. So what advice can you give people in general about taking a leap of faith and overcoming obstacles in their lives?
Love it. Two things. One of my principles that I follow is you are information away from your breakthrough. And I believe that we have the capability, but I believe we lack information, the know-how. And I believe because we lack the know-how, that can make us to procrastinate or not attack and to have that fear of failure, right? Because if you have a core belief of I'm a mess up, I'm a failure, it won't go right. So for me, I tell people I'm big on asking for help, research and learning, because that information could take you to another level, right? But if you're doing nothing, right, and just being passive, then you won't get the information. And also wisdom, right? I mean, experience is going to also offer you information. So I was want to just inspire anybody to get information, right? And that's how we get paid. That's how answers are solved is through information, right? If I need to know how to build a house, give me information, how to do it. That's it. So get information. And number 2 is challenge your self-beliefs. You know, you're not a failure, right? You're not bad. You're not defective. And a lot of times we put our identity on what we did, right? And if we do that, then we got to also put our identity on the good. A lot of times we blame ourselves on the bad stuff, but you got to give yourself that much credit on the good. So you don't always mess up. You don't always fail, right? So one thing I would say is actually, you got to ask yourself, who are you? And a lot of times we put what we do as who we are, and that could be a setup because if I say I'm a football player, and that's why I lost my mind because now I'm not a football player. So who am I? So for me, I had to really do some search and say, who am I? Right. And that's what I want to encourage you to ask yourself. And these are questions that we don't ask, that we don't go through, or people don't really help us out to say, who are you? Not what you do, right? But who are you, right? What is your identity, right? And that's something that really helped me. So then I know, for me, right, I'm a Christian, right? For me, I'm a husband, right? So these things, I'm a male, I'm a man. So these things help to now channel my behavior or my way of thinking. So now I know this is why I think, because this is who I am, right? And these things. So that's my advice. I would say is your information ready for your breakthrough, and focus on who are you, what are your identity, and really start from there of, you know, your convictions, and then start building that and just stay behind them and practice. Okay, you gotta practice. We're gonna make mistakes. All right, I tell a lot of athletes, I failed more than you did, and I may tend to fail. And I tell my clients, I failed more than you have on weight loss, and I lost 100. So it's not failing, it's just learning. So this change your mindset as learning opportunities, not failing, and that hopefully will help you to continue to keep going on this journey of life.
Amen. Thank you for those words of encouragement. Thank you for joining us. Before we let you go, where can my viewers actually find you on social media?
Yes. I'm real big on Facebook. So my name, Terrance Pennington. So that's my profile name. I'm always, I love teaching. I love helping when it comes to mental health, weight loss, or relationships. So I love teaching through my experience. I'm very vulnerable about my struggles, addiction, so people can relate. And also my website, the TP experience. So T as in Tom, P as in Pennington, the TP experience. If you want to learn more about my book and how, I lost my 100 pounds and how I overcome depression, how I was able to change a lot of my self-damage and self-belief, then I'd love for you to get a copy so that you can learn, the good, bad, and the ugly of how I was able to transform my life.
Amen. Thank you again for joining us. Hey, everybody, this is Fago Franklin III. You can follow me on Facebook, Fago Franklin III. You can follow me on my Instagram, SuperJournalist87, or either you can go to my website, which is newstitchmedia.com. Thank you again, everybody. Everybody have a blessed one. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Bless you.
Always.